So in this video, I'm going to take a look at GeoGebra app that is installed on our Android tablets. In order for me to access the app, I need to go into my apps and look for GeoGebra, which is right next to my Gmail app. So I'm going to go to GeoGebra. And I already signed into my account. So in the upper right corner, I'm actually going to sign out to show this to you, but when I open the app, in the upper right corner, you have an option of signing in. That is going to allow you to save things. So again, depending on what is it that you're doing with your students, you might want them to save their sketch and share that with you, or just save it for their future use, or maybe that's just a quick exploration where it doesn't need to be saved. It's completely up to you. I am going to show you how to sign in. So in the upper right corner, which is right here, we're going to click on sign in. And again, students can create their own account for this particular website, but there's absolutely no need to do that. If you notice in the right column, you have an option of signing in using Google. Again, our students have Google accounts. They should be logging in using them. So we're going to, over here, click on Google. And I already signed in earlier, so I'm just going to choose my account. If this is the first time signing in, you would actually be prompted to put in an email and a password. So now that I'm signed in, for example, if we're doing geometry, in this video, we're going to focus on creating our own things. So I can, or sketches, not things. So I would go to my geometry, and I am going to create a triangle. And if you notice on the bottom, I have little hints of what to do, which is pretty nice. I am going to plot the 3 points. So here I'm trying to create a triangle, and one of the things that hopefully you notice is that I plotted 3 points that are not labeled. So one of the things I do want to show you, and I do this in GeoGebra when I have it open in my browser as well, is I set my options to delete this object here. Here I go. So if I click on it, I could say delete. So I personally like to label my points. I don't like to label other things. So if you go to options, which is right here, I go to labeling, and I don't want it to be automatic. I want to label new point only. So then if I go back to creating my triangle, I have my points A, B, and C, and then you can create segments. I'm doing this very quickly because I'm going to put a link on GeoGebra tutorials on YouTube. There's plenty. So the object of this is not to actually teach you how to use GeoGebra, but sort of show you how you would do this in a class. So for example, if we're exploring the sum of the sum of the angles inside a triangle, we can have students measure them, and then we can have students, use the tablet and actually explore this. So really neat, depending on what you want to do. Again, I do have an option of save. So if I go to file, I have options, right? So now I can actually share this file, and I don't have Google Classroom installed as an app here on our tablets, but if it was, it would be an option. I can save it directly to my drive. I can create a QR code if I really wanted to, but I am just going to save it. I'm going to call it triangle. And what's nice is that anytime I log into my account, I will be able to access this particular sketch, so which is really nice. So that's pretty much it. And quick reminder that students should get in a habit of signing out. So if I go to my settings and I go to my user, I have an option of signing out. So that's something that I would suggest you do. So then if I go back into my app, or another student goes back into the same app, they can actually sign in again. So, okay. All right, so if you noticed, even though we signed out and we went back into the app, the sketch that we have created was still there. So one thing that we want to get our students in the habit of when they're done using the tablet, not only should they sign out of any website that they have signed into, but they really should get in the habit of closing all the apps that they have been using. And I actually didn't know this at the very beginning. I had a student show me who had an Android tablet at home, but in order to see all the apps that are open, you click on this little bar, or not bar, it's a square, and everything that's open is here, and to close it, you simply are going to slide it to the left. So now that I closed my GeoGebra app, I do want to keep my Join Me open because that is what I'm using to share the screen. But now if I go back to, so I closed my GeoGebra app and I signed out. So now if I go back to my GeoGebra, again, imagine we are on a new period. It kind of has the fresh look where the students can create their own graph or geometry, spreadsheet, whatever you'd like them to do. If you teach statistics, you might be interested in the probability. And they have an option of signing in. So it's brand new, nothing is saved. No one's going to give away any geometry secrets before the students discover it. So again, that's something that we want to get our students in the habit of doing.